Hello, my fellow Americans. My name's Timothy Gay Sr., and I am running for presidency of the United States of America in 2012. Been busy trying to get a campaign manager and somebody that knows how and is willing to start up a exploratory committee to see if I can get enough support to have my name put on the ballots instead of running as a write-in. I have also created a website, which is Timothy Gay Sr. SR, Timothy Gay SR, the number 4, president.com. Be sure to check out the website, as I will be posting these videos to at least the links to that website as well as here, and also update other information on the website that I may not have time to get to in these videos. First of all, let me say that our prayers and our thoughts go out to the people of Japan and all the victims of the earthquake and tsunami, and now as they're facing possible nuclear meltdown at their power plants, that our prayer goes out for their safety and for them to find a way to end this crisis safely. I hear more and more of the politicians speaking up of finally cutting spending. However, when you cut your spending, you cannot be foolish in doing so. You are looking at attacking the wrong programs, which would in turn create more of a burden on this country with what you're talking about cutting. Now, you cannot cut Social Security. The elderly, again, the backbone of this country that helped build this country, cannot be punished just for simply aging. They paid into that system. Now, we can fix that system with increased spending into that system, again, by cutting our foreign aid. $47 billion to foreign countries when we put $12 billion into our Social Security. We're putting other countries before this country, and we can no longer do that. That needs to change, and it needs to change now. The money that we spend to import oil from foreign countries is a waste, when we have oil in all 50 states that we can be drilling for here and more than meet our needs at a lower cost to the American people and lower cost for the consumers at the gas pumps. Now, I hear people calling for extra taxes on gas. You can't do this. And this is coming from the Republicans that, let's not forget, said that we cannot raise taxes in this time of economic uncertainty. I remember one of the very first people I hear that spoke up against Obama raising taxes on the top 2% of America was the Republican governor of the state of Arizona. But yet you go and you look at what she has done in the state of Arizona. She raises taxes and has even tried to create more taxes and has tried to create the selling of state trust lands to be put into the general fund. My question is not only to her and her state, but to all governors in all 50 states. I want you to be accountable for every dollar that is sent to you federally for programs to be accounted for in those programs and not to be put into your general fund and spent on other things. I believe this is crucial to hold every politician, every governor, every mayor, every senator, every congressman, and yes, even the President of the United States accountable for their decisions. And how do we make them accountable for their decisions? On bad decisions, we vote not to keep them around. Or we sign repeal petitions to get them out of office. We don't have to do it the way the Egyptian people did it, or the way what's going on over in Libya. And let me be clear on this. How can we, as Americans, sit back and let our government interfere in with what's going on over in the Middle East? If we start sticking our nose in, then we're going to be look like we're intrusive, and we're inserting power where we not need to. And how do we know for sure that there isn't extremists or terrorists that are down in those groups that is creating this chaos? And by tying the hands of the government for standing up. We don't know in either case what's going on. We need to do is let it take its course, and if it is truly the citizens of that country raising up, then allow them to do so on their own. And not go in there and raise more hatred towards America. We need to concentrate on America first. With a country that is so deeply divided on all the issues. And here we have threats, week after week, of government shutdown. With the power struggle that continues to go on in Washington, D.C. Now I see the point of view of both sides. Because if you look at my stance on the issues, it is bipartisan. And in order to get what you want, sometimes you have to give what the other side wants. Now, I'm not talking about earmarks. I'm not talking about pork belly spending. There's got to be common ground that will work for the American people. And the way I see it as of now, that common ground is Timothy Gay Sr. We cannot continue giving handouts to foreign countries and at the same time talk about cutting programs that work here in America, like Medicaid, Medicare, welfare, and Social Security. Yes, the entitlements. We cannot cut those. Let's not forget that when you read that there's still 9-10% unemployment across the board. Again, let's not forget that does not include the people that is no longer receiving their unemployment or has been denied their unemployment from day one. We need true numbers. And also, let's go with full disclosure to the American people. I, for one, am tired of hearing that we cannot release this information. It has to be classified. You know what? The American people have the right to know anything and everything They have the right to know. I would also start calling on decisions that are going on like now that neither side can seem to agree on, and they want to threaten government closure. Issues like that could be brought up in special elections and let the voice of the American people be heard on these issues. I'm tired of the senators and the congressmen in the House of Representatives not paying attention to the voters and feel that they have the right to interpret what is best for the American people. Why not just ask the American people? State issues require special state elections. Federal issues call for special federal elections. It's plain, it's simple. It's not rocket science. Okay? And also another thing that I would move to do is I would increase our spending to each state for education. However, I would remove the federal government's role of running education. We can get rid of the Department of Education on the federal level, which is not what it was intended for anyway. Let the states and the parents decide on the education for their children. It should not be up to the federal government to be in controlling state affairs. We could also go back to the old system to where the states and the parents are what fund the education. With the technology of cyber schooling and homeschooling, there's ways that we can cut costs for the American people. And let's not forget that even with the federal funding, there are still school systems that parents are paying for, like the private schooling. We need to get out of state issues at the federal level, and we need to let the states deal with those state issues. But also states, when the federal government sends you money for programs, that money needs to be used for those programs and not used for your general fund for other things. Now, there has been misuse of these funds. I suspect it. And I believe that if we launch investigations into all 50 states, we will find that that is the case. Now, I know a lot of this stuff is over and over and over again, but you're hearing the same from Washington, D.C. over and over and over again. Now, I have a list of my issues and where I stand on a bunch of issues on the website. That's Timothy Gay Sr., the number 4, president.com. Let's get the ball rolling, people. Let's get this on the right track. We need to start showing support. We need to start banding together as the American people. And we need to send a message to Washington, D.C. We are done with the power struggle of the big two. A vote for Timothy Gay Sr. is a vote for change that we can believe in, change that we can thrive in, and change that reaches out to all Americans. And until next time, may God bless the United States of America.